And we're live. What up, everybody? Thanks for joining tonight. Tonight we have a special guest. Before we do that, who's the guest? Tonight we have Lupita Reyes. What's going on? Thanks for joining, everybody. And there they are. There's
we are right here.
Sorry, my hands
What are you going to talk about?
Well, actually, I want to thank everybody, and first of all, I want to thank Papa John's.
Oh.
Yes.
Papa John's actually is one of our great sponsors. They actually gave us 20 pizzas today. How we did that was 15 regular pizzas, different varieties, as well as gluten-free, 5 gluten-free pizzas.
Wow.
Which now I'm down to 1 pizza. So
There's a pizza and a half.
Yeah, this pizza, not even a half. There's like 2 slices in there. But yeah, so I want to thank Papa John's for all the great help and their great support for the community as well as Black River Studios.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Definitely appreciate what they've been doing. Helping us out. I don't have my hearing aids, so I don't know how loud I'm talking.
You're not.
You're fine.
I forgot to put.
You're fine. You're good.
Am I loud enough?
No, you're good. I wish you'd stay this loud. That'd be great.
Yeah, I know. So we got Southside Cuts. We appreciate them as well. Want to get a hold of Boyle. He is the owner. Get a hold of him, 616-836-7502. Excuse me. Located on the south side of Holland. Obviously, that's the name. Southside Cuts. Then we got Pure West Compassion Club. Get a hold of them. 616-772-9420 or visit their website, purewestclub.com. All right, so let's get with the program, everybody. This camera.
Well, as you all know, we're coming up with the national elections, presidential elections coming up, and other important seats in Congress, the Senate and House of Representatives. What I want to talk about is the importance of voting, and I want to address a lot of this to our Hispanic listeners who watch this program. And it's important to say that if you're an American citizen and you're not voting, you're wasting your vote because it's going to go for the other party, whichever party you support, because you're not voting. And voting is a right. And if we don't use that right, eventually what happens when you don't use something, it wears away, it goes away. And that may happen. That is why this election is very important to all of us who live in this country. We are used to a country that's pretty free, that we can do many, many things. We can say most anything, within its limits.
So their First Amendment.
We can say whatever we want. We're
there are always rules, there are always limits no matter where you go.
Yeah.
But the important thing here is I want to tell our Hispanic listeners that how they can register to vote, that they have a right to vote, and that no one can say to them, you can't vote. If you're an American citizen, no one can tell you can't vote.
Clear something up for me, because I've been through this, and everybody knows I was never a saint. But if you have a felony, you cannot vote.
That's true.
That's really?
But,
I never knew that.
we have some people in our country who can have lots of felonies and can do lots of things.
That's true.
Well, see, one of my questions that I asked all these people on my Facebook and all the listeners, if we are to get Trump into office, does that mean that people with felonies that will get dropped out of their job application and will it even matter anywhere? Because if we can have a person that's a president and have felonies, that means we can have a job with felonies.
Correct. If
So
that happens.
I'm trying to correct. I'm just trying to understand how this is going. So I'm going to look at both sides here, and forgive me if I don't want to touch a funny spot with you.
No.
But even with Bidenomics, he has raised up a lot of stuff to where people can't afford their medication, their food, the gas, and there's a lot of people that are suffering. But Kamala's coming back saying, I'm going to fix all that. Well, you guys had 4 years to fix it. Why didn't they fix it? Again, Trump did the same thing. I'm going to do this, but he ended up doing 4 years of doing nothing but hurting the economy.
Correct. Here's the thing. When Congress votes on something, maybe the president and a few of the people who support him on the level of the Senate and the House, but you have a certain group that's not supporting and votes it down. There's nothing he can do about that. Take the immigration problem. Okay? The immigration problem has been around since I was a little girl, and you probably know that it's been around. And what I see is that problem is kept around because it's always being used as a political tool to get elected.
Get elected.
And let's be honest, that's what it is. We're blaming right now. I see all these commercials that talk about
And I approve the message.
the illegals are coming into our country, taking our job, taking our resources. Well, folks, let me tell you one thing. The illegals cannot get Social Security. They cannot get public assistance like Medicaid, like for food stamps. They, under no conditions, well, there's one. If they're dying, life and death situation, then they will give them emergency Medicaid.
And it's not even that much.
Okay, it's not. If you've ever been on
I've dealt with,
we know that.
I've dealt with several that
So,
was not very that much.
you know, I knew a lady that I was working with that had 3 daughters who were American citizens, and she was not. She was going through a process. She had already been approved for adjustment of status, but she was still in the limbo part.
Yep.
So she needed help. They gave food stamps for her 3 daughters.
Okay.
Okay, and then she didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Okay, because she was undocumented. Her daughters did.
Gotcha.
That is why. And as long as they're undocumented, they cannot qualify for any public
I
assistance.
wondered about that too.
And
Ouch.
you know, a lot of people say, well, they're coming here to take our jobs. I'm sorry, folks. They're not taking your jobs. They're taking jobs you don't want.
Thank you.
They're taking jobs you don't want.
Thank you for saying that.
Because when the restaurants can't get help in the kitchen, who's out there working it? Let's take a look.
Even Chinese restaurants.
Yes, same thing. Okay, so we put the blame on all these folks, and we live in a very religious town. And I'm glad, you know, that we live in that kind of town. But then let's put our faith and our mouth, what we say, to work.
Yes.
Right.
To work with people, no matter what
Put
color
action
they
behind
are.
what you say.
You know, and give them the break. I don't say let everybody into our country that's coming in. What's coming in right now are people from all over the world,
Yeah.
not just Mexico, Central America, Cuba, South America. There's
Funny
people
that you say
coming
that.
in from all over.
I actually just heard on the radio this day that I don't even know where the poll came from, but it said the rankings of the most livable countries. Guess who was number 1?
That's true.
America.
And the people seeking asylum are coming here because they live in such a violent environment.
Have they been to Detroit? No.
Yeah.
Been to Chicago?
Chicago, New York. It's sad when I hear some of these stories, when I work with some of my clients, to hear they came here because their father was murdered right in front of them by the cartel because they didn't want to do what they wanted.
Oh, I got a story after we're done. I got a story.
Yeah.
I got a story.
So I'm tired of hearing all of this about illegals killing, robbing. There are other people doing the same thing, but what we have to look at.
But they have to justify what they're trying to do with building the wall on the border. So they try to bring up killing, drugs, all this. That's been happening since the 50s.
Oh, of course.
But they want to make it look like they're going to take something that's so small, magnify it 10 times,
Right.
so people can judge what they want to, how to vote.
Right.
And I'm sorry, that just doesn't work. And some of us who are smart enough to go, No, that's not what's happening.
Someone told me who was in the drug business said to me, "You know what? I'm going to tell you this." He says, "Where there's a market for this stuff, that's why we sell it.
Yeah.
Well,
Without a market, you can't sell it."
well, with this government that we have in the United States, they're our number one competitors. I'm gonna lie.
No.
I mean, I tell the truth as it is. They end up buying and reselling it, going back into the cities, the big cities like Chicago, Detroit, Florida, Texas, California. They're the ones giving,
Yeah.
And they give a little loophole in Mexico to go, okay, come, but only a few of you, and sell your drug, but then you go back because it's pharmaceutical. They come and sell it as pharmaceuticals,
Sure.
and it's like, but the only reason they're making it a big deal is because now they got, let's say Viagra, penicillin,
Why is
Toradol, all that, all that stuff, with other medicines. But they're pushing doctors to push these pills
Sure.
so they can pay. It's the same difference, only it's they call it
It's licensed.
Yes, it's licensed pharmaceutical.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
But all these things are used as a ploy to become elected. Just notice these politicians, do they ever talk about the stuff when they're in power? No.
No.
They don't mention that.
No.
Do they ever, either, there are a lot of honest political people, and I commend them. I thank them for what they do.
It's very admirable to be
But
honest.
there are other people who are there for their own purpose, for their own agenda. And that's what we need to look at. We need to look at a candidate that has the welfare of our country in their heart, the passion to serve our country, to protect it,
Yes.
and to protect its people, not just a certain group, but all people who are Americans, and even those that are not Americans. They're human beings.
Yes.
Right.
And so everybody deserves to be protected. So I think if we stop doing this, I hate election time sometimes because there we begin with the lies.
And it
It
always
becomes gritty.
divides people.
Yeah. And that's when we
The
divide.
division.
That's when we divide people. And we shouldn't do that. I mean, if you're going to vote for one candidate and I'm against that candidate, that's fine. That's your choice.
Yeah.
But please don't tell me that I'm doing the wrong thing because I'm voting for a different person,
Yeah.
because that's my choice. And I'm going to
That's
do
our given
yeah.
right as Americans to have a right to decide who we want.
That's right.
And
And
you would
so,
sit here and bash me because I like a certain person, like
Yeah.
you just said.
and that's what happens is that, and we say that we should keep religion out of politics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're not doing a good job because we have brought religion. Churches are now becoming very political.
Oh, we're going to get me on start on that.
No, all
Yeah.
churches, not just one group, but all of them. And it's just two things that they choose to fight about. And I'm going to say this, that I don't believe that those two items should be on the ballot at all. And because those are moral issues, we all will have to face God when we go.
Oh, yeah.
He's the ultimate judge.
Yep.
And so no politician should have the right to say women can't do this, men can't do this, felons cannot vote. Why?
Right. No, I agree.
What the felon has paid his or her fine, by
We paid our debt to
you
society.
paid your debt.
Mhm.
So why then are you being punished? And while we let politicians and some business people
Oh, yeah.
get away with whatever.
I mean, how many pictures,
100% fraud.
how much evidence do we have of the White House candidates and I'm going to say people that are there with cocaine addictions,
Yeah.
alcohol addictions, prostitution addictions,
Oh yeah.
and they have more than enough. They have more felonies than I do,
There's
and it's crazy.
there was a video that did that they were talking about this list.
And
So many people that had a bunch of felonies, just basic like crimes that they had throughout the years. And everybody was, at the beginning of the article said, who do you think it is that does this? and people were thinking, oh, it's sports players, it's athletes, it's actors.
That's
It was all people that were in
government.
the government
Yes, sir.
that had that.
They're the same people who
They can't sit here and judge you as somebody that got out of jail, something they did 30 years ago that they finally paid their dues, that they can't be allowed to vote. That's ridiculous.
And one thing also is what kind of a model is that person who has committed several felonies, more than several? A big head.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah,
I'm just talking
But
about.
what can we tell our children? We have elected this person who is a felon to lead our country, or to be a judge on the Supreme Court, or whatever.
Yeah.
Why then do we punish children when they do something that they see someone who's famous doing it
Mhm.
and gets away with it? That's the model we're giving our children. And the United States has lost its way in some sorts because what our forefathers put into the Constitution, that no longer, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
And that's sad. I'm an American. I was born in America, and yet people consider me as right from Mexico, and that's okay. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. But
Right.
there are other people who do get bothered by it.
Oh, there's several people that get bothered
And
by it.
especially those people that have become American citizens by choice.
Yeah.
They chose to become American citizens. We were born here, but these people have chosen to become American citizens, raise their hand to protect this country, and yet we have our leaders not protecting our country.
Right.
Wow, what an example.
Yeah.
So, what I want to do though is, if I may, speak in Spanish a little bit.
Before you do that, hello, Angela. Yes, hello.
Before you do that. So we got Alex Silva, we got Roxy, Joanna Cabrera, Angela
Zamudio. Zamudio.
Someone,
Yeah. I messed that one up. You can read that.
Okay,
So
so
this is
Angela says hello.
hi, Angela.
She says, why do people want to vote for a president who has put so much racism in the world, has committed a crime while being president, and they still vote for him to become elected? Again, that's just wrong in every aspect in my book.
Wow, that's the kind of person I like. Okay, but also you have a right to your opinion, Angela, and that's true. We sometimes vote for things that I think that's the only thing that my sister-in-law said it. It's these church people, and excuse me, I don't want to offend any church.
Churches are just as political as anything.
They're just as political, and the sad part about it is sometimes it's only two issues that they go on, and you know what those two issues are,
Mm.
and it's
I like that.
I don't, you need to vote on really what's good for our country.
You got to do your studies.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do your studies before you vote. 'Cause
you know, some of
on
the
facts and opinions and people's.
so I'm going to say it.
Hey, Marty.
Let's take abortion for a while. I don't
Hey.
believe in it.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Ooh, see.
I don't believe in it, but that's me.
I don't believe
That's
in it.
my body, and I don't believe in it. But do I say to other women, hey, you are doing bad? No, that's your choice. And to me, abortion and homosexuality, all of that belongs in a religious setting, because that is what it is.
Mhm.
We all have to meet our God. We all have to answer to Him, and that's when this is going to come about.
Right.
And God created us all equal.
Mhm.
So all
No, he created us in his image.
in His image, you're right. And so what we say then, these people, because they do these things, are not people? They sure are. They have their feelings and they have their own thinking. Why then doesn't, for instance, the government doesn't put any restriction on a man having a vasectomy?
That's true.
Okay?
That is very true.
Why
That is very true.
and a lot of people can say, well, that's not killing a baby.
Man could carry seed.
Yeah,
That's true, but he's
Is it-
not producing a baby either.
right.
So it's a way of controlling birth. So, okay, I'm words I shouldn't say.
He turns into the yeah, well,
So that's. I mean, yeah. I'm not a woman. No. Anyway, I'm also against abortion. I always wondered why.
it's just like
The only way that I say if you needed to abort a baby,
That's it.
if it was to protect somebody's life,
That's it.
or if the baby was not going to make it.
Or it was an incest
Yeah, that rape, maybe rape.
or rape.
That was the only way. Doing it just because you don't want to have a baby, have the baby and give it up for adoption.
That's the best way to do it.
You know, that's the easiest. Unfortunately, some people don't look at it like that.
No, I know that.
And so, again, I would say, from a man's standpoint of it, go through the birth. If it's not going to, affect anybody
Mhm.
health wise, go through the birth and give it up for adoption.
That's it. That's a good.
well, in some conditions, some women have some illnesses. They can get pregnant. However, it does create other defects with their other inner selves to where they either bleed or they lose another
That's what I'm saying.
kidney infection, and it starts starts to downfall.
Or that you know that
Yeah.
from the onset that this child is going to be born with some defects. Why do you want to punish a child for the rest of his or her life,
Yeah.
knowing that this child is going to be dependent for life,
Yeah.
going to be ridiculed, going to be, have to.
But is it really for us to judge that, or is that God?
God judges that, I think.
You know,
Why do we judge?
why would we kill a child if they're defected? I mean, isn't that it's still a life?
It's a life. It's a life, but
Mhm.
it just depends that if the baby dies,
That's a different story.
you have to. Or if a baby dies in utero, you have
That's yes,
you have to
yes. That's
do something. You can't just leave a dead
Yeah.
baby in there. And
Yeah.
so there are some instances where abortions are necessary. Okay, so
I'll agree with that.
but we can't just say, let's ban this forever.
Right.
I still think we have a right to make those decisions, and then we're going to have to deal with God. He's the ultimate judge.
You can choose whatever you want. It's the
That's true.
consequences later that
Later,
are going
the
to
consequences later come, and that's
True.
that's up to you. And so, but we condemn so many people to hell, really, just simply because they do a different thing.
Yeah.
But lives are that way. That's what people are. We all are different in different ways. That doesn't mean that we have to chastise people.
Very true. Very
So,
true.
Very true.
I like I said, I don't believe in abortion.
Angela said we are all defected in one way or another.
Well, of course we are.
Yeah, we are.
Everybody
I have a lazy eye.
I'm just like,
I'm just lazy. But
That's true.
also,
And that's,
I do want to address this thing about.
oh,
yes, you can say something in Spanish, or you can read something in Spanish.
I can
You
say
both?
something in Spanish. No más quería decirles que hay maneras que si usted es ciudadano americano o si ya se convirtió en ciudadano americano, puede votar en su casa. No es necesario salir de su casa e ir a votar. Eso es algo que lo hace un ballot. Se lo mandan a su casa. Si usted se registra, se puede registrar en la computadora para votar y le mandan todo. El estado de Michigan tiene una página de web donde todo es traducido en español en varios idiomas y también documentos. Si usted solicita un documento en español, se lo mandan. hay como estudiar para la licencia de manejar, como el examen que dan.
Ujú.
Todo eso está en línea. Y yo no sabía que todo esto estaba disponible para nosotros, pero sí está. This is good. And para votar, si usted es ciudadano americano o se hizo ciudadano americano, usted puede votar. Los
¿Eso todos los papeles son para los puertorriqueños y todos los latinos o es nomás para mexicanos?
No, hay para árabes, japoneses, chinos. Sí, they have them all.
Okay.
They have about 24 different languages that they translate.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's good to know.
Jacob Trevino says Trump 2024.
Hey,
That's what he posted.
everybody to their own.
Oh, hi, Linda Love. I didn't even see her. What up, Linda Love? So, I have a question.
Sure.
He doesn't speak Spanish, so everything he said he didn't understand.
Where did you get the name Herrera?
What are you laughing at?
Speak Spanish, you don't. I know.
That's just, what's going on here? Now, my question is, because obviously, I mean, we're two different people. We look at things different. We're on the same page when it comes to the abortion part. I honestly, I don't like Biden. I just never did. I didn't like his
That's
character.
all right.
But there are some things that I did agree with. But just like with Trump, there was some stuff that I hated what he did. There was
Me
stuff
too.
that I didn't agree with him. But it was almost like 60-40. 40% I agreed, 60% I didn't. But unfortunately, at the time, that was the only person I was voting for. So, what are your thoughts on if Trump ends up winning?
I'm going to move to Tahiti.
It's pretty cheap.
No, but
So, in reality, if he wins, he wins.
Yeah.
We have to live with it.
it is the same with
But I'm not, I'm not looking forward to that for several reasons. And
Right.
if he did something, he's already warning that if he doesn't win, there might be a repeat of what happened on January 6th.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's saying that. Now, a wise person who's running for president should not even talk about that because what he's doing is intimidating us.
Mhm.
And if anything, that makes me angrier.
Yeah.
I don't like to be intimidated,
Right.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And if that happens, then we know what kind of man we have elected to the presidency.
Agreed. I agree. That's stuff that, yeah, you don't say that. You don't tell people that. Like I said, I mean,
Well, hang on a second.
What?
No, he's going by the Bill of Rights, and he's going to sit there and tell you that just to intimidate people. The freedom of speech. However,
It's intimidation.
we as United States Americans have a right to take over the government.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But
We'll do that.
where does that stand? Where does that stand though with the Latinos and the Japanese and the Puerto Ricans and everybody? Where does that can we,
Puerto Ricans are Americans.
yes,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. As long as can they do the same thing? What if we were to go? What if we did the same thing? I bet you they would kill us. They wouldn't put us in
They
jail.
put us out of the country.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. Is it?
we were born here, though.
But it doesn't matter. We're Mexican or we're Puerto Rican or we're Cuban. But see, the thing that they didn't show on the TV is they did arrest a lot of people.
Yeah,
What they didn't show was when they got released outside, they unhandcuffed everybody.
Mm-hmm. This happened in Texas. These people were having a meeting,
Yeah.
and
In where?
In Texas.
in I don't know, was it San Antonio or Houston
It
or
was Houston.
I thought it was.
okay, and
So they released a lot of people. They arrested them to make it look because they're on camera. So they arrested a lot of people. But behind the scenes, they unhandcuffed them.
and they
and
broke
released
in to their homes.
So let me ask you this. Was that girl really killed?
It makes people
You know what I mean?
angry.
You remember that part?
Mhm.
That lady got shot?
Yeah.
Was she a cop? Was she, or no? She was a
Yeah.
or excuse me, a protester. But because that whole thing when it was going on, it made me think too. Was like, is this really happening? Like, okay, so if they were let in the way they were towards the end, then why was anybody arrested in the beginning?
Exactly. Now, remember the conversation you and I had when Trump got shot?
Oh yeah, that's what we were.
You know,
Okay,
we talked.
okay. The military is mad. How did they know about the sniper, and why didn't they do anything before then? Why did they wait until they nicked his ear? If he was a sniper, he would have got him dead on.
Also, did you notice the guy that was behind him?
Yeah.
He didn't move.
He didn't move. He didn't
Yeah.
budge.
Yeah.
He just sat there because he knew where it was going to go.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
And the other lady with the phone, she's like watching everything happen.
Mhm.
She didn't move. She didn't budge.
It had to have been staged.
It is staged, and that's why the military was mad, because it's like, why are we protecting somebody who's being faulty towards the United States? We did our training. We put our time into the military to protect the fake. But how many people in the government are fake? Everybody says, "Well, vote for me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this." You vote for them. All of a sudden, they forgot who you were.
That's one of the
That's true.
problems, issues that I also am
Just stop listening.
very, I get very ticked off with people who say, we're going to do this for you.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you try and write a letter to that person and you write and the person never answers you. Who are you? I don't know you.
It's an Eminem video all over again.
And then when they were reading, when they were running for office or whatever, they promised you the sky, the moon, the oceans, and we're going to do all this. And then they get elected, and then they forget who you are.
Yeah.
And that is very unbecoming of a politician.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Nathan Box.
You better stop.
Trying to get him.
Trying to get people mad.
Nathan, I sent you a message. Check it.
He's trying to get Nathan Box onto the show.
Yeah.
Hmm?
He's trying to get Nathan
Was
Box
there
here.
an election coming up too? Or was that last time? Or was that 4 years ago? Wait, is mayor every 4 years or every 2 years?
Mayor?
Every two, isn't it?
Is it 3? Is it what?
The mayor?
Mayor? The mayor of
What is the term for the mayor?
city council.
What?
How often is the elections for city
The mayor.
officials?
I think
Every 2 years.
Yeah, that's
Somebody out there?
so 2 years. He said 2 years. I said it was 2 years.
Yes, I think so.
Your niece said hi, Thea. Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Jacob said,
She didn't hear.
here's something. Jacob said the Dems were behind the shooting. It was a last-ditch effort to get rid of Trump. What do you think about that?
I think they
What are
missed.
we going to do about that?
I think they missed.
Well,
Really? It sucks. No.
I think if the Democrats would have been behind it and really wanted to do harm, they would have done it. They would have hired someone who could shoot better, for one thing.
Well, I mean, look at Kennedy. Look at Kennedy. They used a driver, and they blamed Oswald.
Yeah.
Say that again?
Kennedy was shot. They used a driver,
Yeah, I saw that.
and they blamed Oswald.
Yeah.
So he took
Yeah, because the driver.
200 yards.
I don't remember. I might be saying this wrong, so don't quote me on it. The video that I saw, it was somebody did some investigation into the shooting of Kennedy.
Yeah.
And now they're saying that the driver was the one that shot him.
That's what I just said.
Did he hold the
I
gun
think
this way behind him?
I didn't know what you said there, Tom.
Did he hold the gun this way?
No, he had the gun. And he went this way. He
So
shot
he
this
knew-
way. So he was like driving this way, and he shot this way.
I mean,
But
Which-
it's weird because
But it's funny because that would have gone. You would have gone deaf shooting that way.
that's what I mean.
And then they're blaming because if you look at the video, you can see where the blood splatters this way, and this comes out.
because weren't they saying
Because if Oswald did it from the building on the side, he would have gone this way or gone this way.
Yeah.
He fell forward. He went back and forward.
so it was the driver?
So that's the thing.
No,
If the Democrats really wanted Trump dead, he would have been dead.
He would have been dead.
That's true.
This was all staged.
And I
That's what I'm saying.
don't wish that on anybody, and
Well, yeah.
Mr. Trump included.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
we're talking about issues that really, I wish politicians would really be politicians and not focus so much on what they hate about the other person. Instead, we should discuss the issues that are hurting our country right now.
But see, this is it. Again, why is there Democrats and
I want to
Republicans?
get rid of them.
Get rid of everything and just become united.
United States.
They would have United States.
Yep.
Okay, let's go with that. Okay, so I totally agree with that. There should be a, what is it called? When you agree, what is it?
Agreement?
No, like when you come together, it's like a total,
Unified.
something like that, but more of a neutral. That's what I was thinking. Neutral agreement to everything.
It's mutual.
So can't we do something?
Let's get rid of police. Let's get rid of now. See, in some ways, I do agree with Mr. Trump on some things, not everything.
Yeah.
But let's get rid of the electoral college. What good is it?
Actually, nothing is good about that.
I mean, they don't represent the people.
No.
The people cast their votes. If the electoral college is going to take over and elect whatever or how they do it, then why do we have to vote? If it doesn't count, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like when the electoral college makes the final decision. So if you're going, let's get rid of the Supreme Court. Because right now,
Because really, you know what? We're spending $30 billion just on people into the White House. I mean, just even the chief of staff, he gets $30,000 per show. So he shows up to court, $30,000.
Yeah.
He goes home with $30,000 in his pocket.
yeah, and that's our pocket.
That's
They
our
are
pocket.
empty.
That's
No,
it.
that's not working anymore.
You know what I mean? But every person in the committee into the White House, everybody's getting paid $30,000, $60,000, $600,000, $1 million. For what to go? No.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
I can do that right here.
you know,
What do you mean?
the
What about
Supreme Court
30,000?
has
Right.
lost its way too. You know, some of the rulings that they have made lately have really disappointed me as far as you people are supposed to look out and really look at this thing, and yet, boom, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And this thing about immunity for, I don't care what president, I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
That you give immunity to a man who's the president of the United States or a woman, and say during your term in office, if you commit anything.
Yeah.
So this means that person can go wherever they want and shoot someone to death.
Right.
In the name of the United States, I'm going to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it while I was in office. There has to be limits.
There has to be.
And
Of course.
that's, you know, when this whole thing started, they put in place our forefathers.
I only have one father.
Balance. He's up there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Jacob Trevino also throws in
Open
open
border,
borders are
one of the biggest issues.
What?
Open borders are one of the biggest issues.
There's really open borders? Really?
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Open borders. Now that means that the border is open, that anybody can come in. Anybody.
But
That's a lie. Even us who are Americans are checked and rechecked before, and if you don't fit the profile, you're not going to come in.
right.
And, you know, there's no such thing as an open border.
Have you seen Boy Meets LA?
Right.
That's it. But there is no such thing as open borders. That means that anybody and their mother could come in. And you know why people inch their way to the United States? There are a couple reasons.
Mhm.
Mexico is not a country that they have the poor and they have the rich and the poor. There's no such thing as middle class in Mexico.
Mhm.
Okay? There's rich and poor.
You have Antonio Solis, yeah. Then you got what's his name, Canelo, and then you have everybody else.
Right.
And then if you want to stop anybody, stop the coyotes from charging these people $5,000
per
a
head.
head, and you bring in 40 people in, you're making money. Those are the criminals, not not the
Not the family people.
the one who wants to come here to work. As far as the cartels is concerned, folks, I hate to tell you this, but the cartels are already in the United States, and they have a stronghold in Texas,
Here.
in Michigan, and they're all over. They're all
I'm
over.
sure.
So those are the people we need to stop. Those are the people that are affecting us. And they affect our economy because they bring all this trash in to sell to young people. And that it's sad. But again, we need to teach our young children how to take care of themselves. Substance abuse is one of the United States' biggest problems.
It is.
And
Sure.
it is staying there. How many years do we go through a president and a group? And we need to stop substance abuse. We need to stop suicides. My goodness, those two things
I'm on
go
that.
together.
I'm on that. Yeah.
It sure
But
is.
that's what we need to concentrate on. That's what's killing our children.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's look at mental health.
Mhm.
That is,
There's a skyrocketed within a few
well,
years,
yeah.
especially since COVID hit.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
And
since
then-
everybody got stuck in their house with each other, it
This
made
kid,
people be like, "What the heck?"
this kid that shot those kids in Georgia,
Georgia.
Yeah.
he has mental problems. Okay?
Okay.
Who's monitoring that? And, I
No, their fix was let's put up metal detectors. Not find out what's wrong with the kid. Let's put metal detectors.
See, and that's the thing too. Is like, if you have the mindset of to go to the school. Did he even go to that school? Did they mention if he did or not?
Yeah,
went to
let's go.
Okay. So if you have the mindset to go to your school with a gun, just even thinking about it, that at your house, you have an issue. You need to get fixed. Don't go to school because you're mad and you're angry and shoot people that probably had nothing to do with your situation.
That's right.
They actually had nothing to do with anything. Things that were young.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
Very-
you have nothing.
very young.
Teachers that
If they have nothing to do with your situation that you're upset over, then go get help somewhere else. Get help instead of killing somebody.
and parents, where are you? Where are you?
They're working 50, 60 hours.
Yeah. The parents, whoever, unfortunately, yeah, maybe the parents didn't realize that was going on because today's world, a lot of people don't. I'm not saying everybody. Some people don't pay attention to what.
Okay, let me piggyback.
Go.
If parents were to pay attention more to their kids, and instead of just buying them a game of PS5 or PS4 or whatever, and then it's go to your room and play your game,
Yeah.
instead of taking the time to take them out and try to figure out who they are as a person, figure out if there was any issues. Instead, dad wants to work on the car, mom wants to work on their knitting or talk with their friends and drink some wine.
Or watch
Or watch soap operas. Instead of trying to find out what's going on with their children, they push their children away because they had a busy day at work.
Right.
So instead of trying to find out exactly what is happening,
What one?
they use everything else to control what they're doing and their feelings instead of worrying about their child. They just buy the kids what they want. The kid is buying what do you call it? Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And they're buying all these military video games. Or these guns, and they're shooting people, and they're like, "Oh, that looks fun." Well, they go and find daddy's rifle. They already have a mental issue. Mom and dad don't care because they're just putting me in the room anyway.
Yeah.
In this,
And they go, "Cool."
in this case, the dad gave the son a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a gift.
Oh, the dad bought the gun?
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to that, I didn't know.
What?
So that's when you're like, okay, that's your fault. You deserve to go to prison for that.
Yes.
You might as well went over there with your son and did the same crime. You buying a gun, I get it. Maybe he bought it just for hunting or whatever, but you still need to pay attention. You still need to figure out what you're.
You need to know who your kids are.
What?
You need to know who your kids are.
Yes.
So because back in the day when we were growing up, we stayed outside till it got.
I'm going to take us out at 9 in the mornings and don't come back until I tell you. And then if you walk inside and the floor's wet,
Get your butt back outside.
go outside, that floor there.
But yeah, I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, when we were in school, you rarely ever heard about a school shooting.
No.
Rarely.
Yeah.
I think the first one I ever remember hearing was the Columbine one.
Yeah, Colorado.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
And then it just skyrocketed after that. But yeah, it's like the one that got me the most was the
Texas.
Texas one.
Yes.
Mm.
I was really.
Like, you're gonna sit here and wait till the dude's done shooting to go into school? Is that what? That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
They waited. So I mean, I don't understand.
So what is Kamala or what is Trump doing to fix all this? Let's get to the point. What either one of these
What did it go?
elect officials doing to
Okay,
correct this?
let's do that. So, how do you even say her name?
Kamala.
Kamala?
Kamala.
Kamala?
Comma, like a comma.
Kamala? I'm still
You still got that
Anyway, the lady.
Well,
The vice president.
Yeah.
what's he doing, man? I'm just
No, but okay. So
sorry. That
obviously, if she won, and whoever wins, what are they going to do to fix the situation in today's economy? You know, and
very fair question.
everybody says, well, the president has nothing to do with the gas prices. Obviously,
You had to buy oil.
I was going to say, technically they kind of do, but
Quit buying overseas.
Huh?
Quit buying oil overseas and get it from Texas where it's supposed
exactly. But well,
Take
when,
tracking then.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You got to do it either way.
we need to go
We've done
back
it for years.
to being self-efficient with our own resources instead of giving money to another country that, you know, I'm all for helping people, but not when it comes to making our country suffer, you know.
Our soldiers are still are homeless and still living on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I think about that is the Mexican problem.
Mhm.
If the United States were to buy the gas from Mexico,
Mhm.
the economy in Mexico, there's a female now that's president of Mexico.
Yes. It's in there.
And so if we work together, I mean, we work with Canada, we work with our border brothers and sisters,
Mhm.
and that we work with both borders to build the economy of these countries that border each other,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Instead of taking their money, their goods and stuff. And Mexico has a lot of stuff they can export.
Mm-hmm.
And they also need a lot of imports too.
Yeah.
That's the same with Canada. Okay, why not develop a council of the three main countries,
Mhm.
okay, and say together we'll work to support our countries
Mhm.
to get the people the jobs they need that pay well, so they can be self-sustaining, that they could
Right.
stay afloat. And between these three countries, the Americas, then we would be solving some problems. And as long as the countries, not so much Canada, but as long as Mexico stays in the poor thing, you're going to continue to see people coming over here
Yep.
to find work, to work in the fields. That's where they mainly work, and in kitchens. Because in Mexico, getting paid 50 cents a day is not a living.
Right.
You can save a dog 50 cents a day.
So
That's not.
perhaps maybe that would be part of the answer. At least try it. You know,
But see, here's the thing: is that the United States isn't making money with that.
how do you know?
They're making money through the drugs. They're not making money through doing positive things.
Yeah, but I think this is a part solution is that if the United States, instead of buying Mexico from the Arab countries,
Yeah.
or from other countries,
Correct?
Mexico has a wealth of oil,
Yes, they do.
Yep.
and that could be bought from them.
Correct.
And then in turn, the United States could sell healthcare. So that,
Win-win.
it's a win-win.
Mhm.
And then the same with Canada. Now, Mexico there are companies that are from the United States that are already established over there.
Right.
Johnson Controls, and you have Lightsaber.
Gentex. A lot of the motor companies are down there.
Ford's down there.
When they tell you, why don't you buy an American-made car? Look under the hood and see where the motor was assembled.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if you tell me Harley Davidson, that's made in China.
Yeah. And
Was
so
Harley Davidson.
It's made in China?
The parts are. Ain't nothing American made in the Harley Davidson.
You know what?
Look at your computer and see where it's made.
Unless you build it yourself, it's not going to be American made.
You know, I kept hearing it happen. You know what else is not in the United States anymore?
Beer.
Budweiser.
Oh yeah, Budweiser, not there.
Beer.
It's owned by some German company.
Mhm.
I think it is now. Somewhere over there. I mean, it's unfortunate that happens, but Blackbird Studio is an American company. But I had to throw it out. But I think a lot of it is. I mean, have you been to Mexico City?
Not Mexico City.
Have you ever been there?
Mexico? I go there every year.
Actually, I still talk about that.
What is it called? Mexico City, right?
Mexico City?
But
I fly
depends on what you're talking about.
City.
Depends on what you're talking about.
Well, because only because I was curious one time, so I did Google Maps, and I did like this street view thing, and I was looking at it. I'm like, what the heck? They got Subway over here?
Yeah.
You know, it made me think like maybe they're that Americanized, with like Australia is.
They have everything we have.
Right, but I was looking at. I did the same thing with Kenya. Lagos, I think it's called.
They have a Subway and
Same
McDonald's.
freaking thing over there.
Yeah.
And they all speak English.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the man? I don't know crap.
They Americanized the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all over the place.
But see, here's the thing: is how can we Americanize the world when we can't even Americanize America?
That's true. Most of
There's
the
too
people
much
in
division.
Mexico, you're going to the shops and they may not speak it as clearly, but they
But they
speak
still-
English
they
and
still
they
speak
understand you. And then the poor people, though, what you call the very poor people that live in tin roof,
Timber Roman clay houses.
and those people, for instance, cannot send their children to school because they have to pay a fee.
Yeah.
And then in the rural areas, the school is only open a certain time.
Mm.
And so these kids are not getting the education that they need.
Yeah.
So what Mexico has to do, and there again, the United States can play a role in that, and saying, here's how we solve the illegal entry into the United States. We want you to educate your people. That's the same thing. We were discussing this once, a friend of mine and I, and saying, you know how we could solve this problem? Every undocumented person that's here can, if they want to remain in the United States, they have to go through this process. First, you have to learn English. Okay? You can work. You have a work permit. And either you stay here, you're going to learn English, keep your job, stay out of trouble, and pay taxes like anybody else.
That sounds like prisoner.
And then, after a certain amount of time, if you maintain that, then you can apply after 5 years or whatever the government might say, then you can apply for permanent legal residency. Everybody thinks that when someone is given an okay to be in the United States, that's a passage to American citizenship. That's a lie.
It's like
Oh yeah.
It's not a
That's the whole process.
You gotta go through.
You have to go through a process, and if the United States, USCIS denies your petition,
whole protocol on that.
you don't qualify. And so it's not as easy as we all think. So, but there are solutions, but they don't tap the right people. All they're doing is the Democrats and the Republicans are fighting each other. And what we're doing is not solving the problem. We're just letting it sit there year after year after year.
Mhm.
Enough is enough. The gun control issue, all those other issues could be solved if we quit arguing with ourselves, work together as a government.
Right. No,
Instead,
Well, see, this is what I was saying before. Why can't we, as Americans, do exactly what we have the rights to do, and that's take over government.
We'd be in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why is it that it's
How come they think they can control us?
exactly? How is it that we have an amendment but we can't use it? In trouble for using our amendment.
Okay,
So where's the thing?
here's the thing. We elected these people in office.
Yeah.
Okay? We didn't elect you in office to control us. That's not your job. That's not your job. So your job is to run this country as we see fit. Because we put you there. That's your job.
You are our voice.
Exactly. You're there to say, hey, when we say something like, hey, those roads need to be fixed, get your butts out there and get that stuff done. Because look at Chicago Drive.
Oh, you better stop. I don't even go there.
Chicago Drive, when they first started tearing, that road up, the news article said that road has not been repaired since the 1960s.
Mhm.
It was still the same cement on the road.
Yeah.
Since the 1960s. That was the last time it ever got fixed.
And then
We're
we
still driving on it.
correct. A lot of these issues aren't being cleaned up because our government officials aren't really paying attention to those things. They're paying attention to
What makes the money?
what makes the money.
Exactly. I agree. And so it's got it, like you said, enough's enough.
So let's start. Okay, people, just listen. Just listen. How about we take all the politicians, everybody in office,
Throw them in the lake
just pay them $50,000 a year,
and see how
and split that money and give it back to the United States.
I think that's a great idea. I mean, they make a lot
Give
of money.
it to the Medicare, to the medical, to Social
Security
Security.
too much money.
Give it, to DHS, to the help the people. Get the poor people, get the veterans off the street.
You know how much money is.
Get the homeless off the street. You can build homes and put people in them.
You know what's
All these hotels that are building here now, put poor people in there. I mean, I'm talking homeless people.
Yeah, they won't do
Exactly. Why? Because they're not making money.
that. Exactly. They're not going to make any money off it. But here's the thing is,
I'm gonna get Puerto Rico.
no, actually what they need to do instead of like they did those houses right there by Lowe's. They need to build more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Affordable housing that people can actually survive off. And that's
And they do have the program, Hot Home,
Yeah.
where you put in 30 hours a week of your time and help them build your own house.
But to get into, it's like trying to get into heaven.
It's a very narrow gate.
Yeah.
he is right.
that's true.
When I first got out of
Hello, Tracy. Hello, Steve.
where I was when I first got out in 2018 when I got released, I ended up getting really good with friends with the Restore and everybody else there and the HUD Home people. And because I did such a good job for them, they handed me a application. They were willing to allow me to get a home, and I just put 30 hours a week. And they would take, because I worked so hard for them and I did a lot for them,
Yeah.
they were going to put me on top of the list of everybody else that was. So it's more scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Right.
But that wasn't fair to everybody that's been on the waiting list for 3 years. So I just denied the application.
Yeah.
I want to do what's right.
More right.
You know what I mean? Why can't the presidency, why can't people do what is right instead of doing what is in their pocket?
Yeah, I want to bring this down to a local now that you said that. This thing about paying child support, okay? Is a person gets a job. Let's say I get a job.
Oh, I can piggyback on this. Let's go.
I get a job, and then I'm behind on my child support.
Yeah.
Okay? They come after me because I haven't paid my child support.
Tino, did you know she's behind on child support?
Then they put me in jail.
Right.
They take your license, they put you in jail, and
They put you in jail, and then you have to pay to be in jail now.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay?
That's ridiculous.
So they take my money there.
Mhm.
I lose my job. I
yeah,
come out owing the county, I don't know how much because I was in jail for 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay? I can't pay my child support.
I know
I
that.
go back in jail. Why?
It's just a
Why not say to these people who are struggling to pay their child support and saying, okay, show us that you're going to hold on to a job and we'll see how you're doing.
Yeah.
but you've got to pay your child support. But don't charge somebody, $700 a month.
You forgot that.
Not more.
You forgot the fact that jails were built to put people in there and keep them in there.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, there wasn't. It's supposed to be rehabilitation. It's not rehabilitation.
Right.
When I was in there, you still had to pay for your living, your food in case you didn't want to, be in there. You want to wear your shoes, you got to pay for that.
Yeah.
You want to wear certain things, you got to pay for that.
Yeah.
People in prison live a lot better lives than they do on the outside.
It's true.
That's why some of them go back.
Well, you know what? Right now, I can tell you right now, I can call my buddy. He's in prison. I can call him because he's got a cell phone.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Well,
You know-
and that's what keeps
That's the
our
kind of
country
changing.
behind what we're supposed to be doing. So, the county is another issue here, and I think that we need to get people who really are invested in our county,
And what is right for us.
what is right for us, not
Now, just to piggyback on that child support, if anybody knows about the 12th and the 14th Amendment, you really don't have to pay child support. If you do,
And court is only because somebody took you to court.
it's involving a third party.
Or that you.
You don't have to pay for that third party. If you do your studies, you don't have to pay for the third party. That's supposed to be an assistant that the government gives
That's
for
just,
free.
okay, so
oh
and people that are paying child support, does the state get a piece of that?
Yes.
now listen, after all is said and done, the money that the spouse with the children got for public assistance, guess who's going to get it taken out of their retirement?
Mhm.
That means it leaves you out on the street.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One more person on the street.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things wrong, folks.
Yeah.
So that's
So
why it's so important.
that's why it's important to vote. Only because there is a lot of things wrong.
Yeah.
But if we don't voice the facts and we don't start doing what is right, we will never fix anything. We're still sitting ducks. And the
Right.
government's sitting there pinging one of us off every day.
Mhm.
And we're all going to end up poor, we're all going to end up homeless, and we're all going to be dictated on how to live life.
That's where
That's a good
pretty
way.
close.
I mean, is that a good way to look at it or a bad way to look
Depends on who you are.
Yeah.
Depends on the mentality and whose presidency.
Yeah. Who's in charge?
Yeah.
Who's in charge.
at it? So,
You,
Because now you're going to have to adapt.
you
We have to adapt to Biden. Now we're going to adapt to either Trump or we're going to come out. We're going to
either way.
adapt either way. We're going to adapt again.
And then if you have a split Senate and a split House,
mhm.
they'll never agree.
They'll never agree.
That's true.
Which is why, again,
That's
why
why
can't we just unite?
That's it.
Just unite.
Okay, one more topic. Why did we? Okay, what is this whole thing about the whole debt ceiling? Well, let's pass this before the government shutdowns. And,
Oh, it comes every year.
It comes every year.
I know, but for example, when COVID hit, and this is what I was told by a caseworker for the Allegheny County. By the way, anybody that's with DHS, you don't have a set caseworker.
No, you don't.
It's anybody can.
Anybody who can answer a phone and go, hey, how can I help you?
Yeah.
So basically, it's a worker from either Pizza Hut or McDonald's. How can I help you?
Pretty much. But anyway,
Push one for English. Push two.
well, and it sucks too, which is weird because you still can't get a hold of anybody.
No.
No, you can't.
So,
Can't talk to them.
Yeah.
It's their projected time.
yep. So,
And they're paid
the
good money.
union has no funds right now.
So
Except for food stamps.
here's the thing. How is it that if anybody, you can check your record, you have a credit score of 405 or you get a credit score of 650, a credit score of 750, but the United States is the one who's in debt.
Exactly.
Well,
But
you
you
make
we
some
are the United States,
money.
remember?
Exactly. But how is that even? How are you gonna dictate what I do with my credit, and you can't even get the United States to agree?
So you can't even get the freaking.
You know what I mean? It's like where do we go with this?
You know what? Look it up. See what the country's credit score is. No, but anyway. So she told me, she goes,
You know it's not gonna be a lie, right? Because everything in the United States is a lie.
oh, it is. They're going to tell us it's 900. Anyway, she told me the reason why the state doesn't have it is because back when COVID was going on,
Oh,
they did a 4-year agreement That's why everybody was getting all that
Toilet paper?
$1,000. Well, no, people were getting all food stamps like crazy. Like,
Yeah, they almost doubled.
so at that time, they were handing out funds for people so that lights don't get shut off and stuff like that. Because we weren't working, people were in their house.
A bill relief.
So she said that was only good for 4 years, and it expired this year in June.
Mhm.
So she goes, "That's why the state don't have money, because they're going back to the way it used to be, starting in October 1st, where they can only help you from October to April." So I'm like, "Oh, so people don't need help in June?"
You would have, okay, so they stopped Section 8 and they stopped it down to build money to go back into this
Okay.
and back into it. However, everybody that's been waiting for 2 years on Section 8, those who just filed for Section 8, all that has been erased. Now you got to start all the way back over. Not this year, next year.
You gotta wait next year?
You got to wait till next year to even apply.
Oh, geez.
Because as soon as you push enter on your computer or you go put, send your papers in,
That was the other thing.
they drop it. They don't even look at it.
She said people that were applying for like assistance to get like say your lights are gonna get shut off, you can't even apply for that.
You can't either. That's all the money they're saving all the money to get back into what they lost money in.
Yep.
So it's just like gambling. You pay your pool, you pay your shark. The shark gave the person the money. Now you got to pay the shark back.
Yep. So anybody that's
What do they call them? Broker shark,
loan shark.
loan shark.
So anybody that, well, how did I know? Anyway, so anybody that's applying for government assistance, you're gonna be put on.
Tell me.
About 90 days.
Well, yeah.
Well, she said October 1st is when it started back up.
Well, at least hopefully there's places that they can get help, like for food.
Okay.
Food stamps are still valid.
Yeah, food stamps.
Food stamps are still valid.
Is it? Okay.
But they told me call 211.
Oh,
And I said, no,
Lord have
it
mercy.
hurt. I've called them a couple times, and it's always, oh no, we don't.
Did you go to
It's
American?
somewhere else.
Did you go to United Way? Did you go to this? Did you go to that? I called all them. They told me to call you.
Exactly.
hey, why do you think I'm calling you?
Exactly. So I called United Way, and it said United Way, Allegheny County.
County.
So I called it, but it had our number.
Yes.
Nobody answered.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I called the DHS person back. She finally answered. That was the first time I ever, oh, let me take it back. Probably 2 times since 2 years ago. No, basically since COVID. That she answered the phone, like on 2 rings.
You know that COVID has taken on a lot of the blame for everything.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's- Come on, COVID is still here with us.
Okay.
Yeah, but see, but you got to remember they made a huge deal about COVID.
Yeah.
Now it died out, but it's still here. But it just died out because
And
now
drug companies are still making the
they're
money.
still making money, which is what I told you earlier.
Yeah.
The pharmaceutical drug dealers,
Hmm?
they're making the money, which is why they want doctors to push this drug. They want them to push this drug and this drug and this drug. Okay, the more you push this drug, the more the doctor gets paid.
But then that goes back to that 4-year thing that they had going on with the assistance. Okay, if COVID's still here, then why would you stop it? You know, people are still suffering from
They're still giving shots.
it. Exactly. People are still getting it. I mean, I know 3 people right now that had it. I mean, I haven't been around them, but they told me they had.
Yeah.
You know,
I've had some people.
it's ridiculous on how you can sit here and try to say, oh, well, this is going on and this is going on, blah, blah, blah. COVID, yeah, COVID's still around. Everybody knows that. We're not stupid. You know, maybe there are some stupid people out there.
COVID has been around for years.
I saw that article from the 1970s that was talking
Well, COVID came out in 1952 in a science lab. They created it
about. Oh, yeah, I think I
to create flus, so people would have to go to the hospital and get doctors.
Now
And,
we're being
and
bombarded.
now you're being bombarded by the same thing. They just amplified it 10 and 100 times
That's
full.
what I was wondering about.
Make more drugs.
Make more drugs. You know
Uh,
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's why Rite Aid went out of business.
But
They weren't selling enough COVID shots.
so the only thing I can say, folks, is that if you want to voice your voice, you've got to vote, because if you don't vote, your voice is lost. And
Yeah.
then don't blame anybody.
Yeah.
Because things are going the opposite way. Get up, vote. Absentee ballots are so good because that's the way I vote. I just get my ballot, put it in the over there by the township, and drop it in the
Don't
box.
tell anybody where it's at. They might go steal it.
Huh?
He said, don't tell anybody where it's at because people might steal it.
No, just kidding.
No.
Now, can you do this from home?
Yeah, you can register online.
Okay.
Register to
Don't
vote.
worry. Oh,
Yes.
wait a minute.
Yes, it's a
When you move, do you have to re-register?
yes.
Ah, dang it!
I had to do that.
I have to do.
I moved
Like you're
out of
voting
house.
twice? Or just,
No,
No,
you
you
can't
don't.
vote twice.
Because
You have to let your
the
township.
districts or how is that districts, right?
You have to let the township or the city know. Your township, if you're moving in, like we moved from Park Township to Holland Township, and
so, ladies and gentlemen, she doesn't like Holland, so don't just play.
but anyway, I had to register in Holland Township. I can't vote in Park Township anymore.
See, and that's okay. Let's quickly on this topic.
But it's
So I asked Mayor Box a while back. Mayor Box.
oh, jeez, give it up.
I mean,
He's not going to come in.
he will. I asked him one time on actually Messenger. I was talking about like, okay, for example, when people were voting for the millage thing for the aquatic center, to get the addition. Why can't the whole area vote on that? Because it affects the whole area.
It does, but
They're not the ones spending
only,
money.
only Holland City.
Yeah,
They're not the ones spending money.
but that's the thing is, all the school districts are that use that. Because if you're gonna, well, I don't know if Holland Christian does. Do they have their own pool?
Holland Township?
Holland Christian.
They have their own.
Yeah, they do.
Again,
Well,
they didn't put their money into it, so they're not,
It's
their votes don't even count.
the we live on this side of the ocean, the river.
The ocean? Yeah.
The river. We
She's
live
in Hawaii already, buddy.
He's already thinking about
She's in Tahiti.
well, at least I get, you throw me back. But it's we live on this side, so this actually is. At one time, they wanted to change the name of this side to Beechwood, Michigan.
Yeah,
And
they
if
did.
you look, if you look on the map, sometimes you'll see Beechwood, Michigan. That's
Yeah, well, actually, that's where the first church for Beechwood is Beechwood Church.
Mhm.
That's where Beechwood was.
Oh yeah, where's it?
No,
This way.
that way,
It's this way.
Yeah,
west.
behind us.
This is Douglas.
That's true because that is on the map.
So
Because what I was told was before West Ottawa District was West Ottawa. That was still all Holland Public, way up there.
when I went to high school,
Hmm.
Holland Public was all the way up to here, and then West Ottawa built its own high school, and then things changed. And so,
And then that's when Holland Public went downhill. After that.
well, and when we went to high school, and those of us who lived on this side
Mhm.
were not well accepted in Holland because
Right.
that was Holland.
Well, that kind of went through where I went to school. Really, Latinos weren't. Yeah, I went to West Ottawa, and we fought every day for racism. I literally, physically fought every day because the people would call me spit.
Oh,
Call me
yeah.
migraine. You know, and I thought,
Go back where you belong, and
yeah, and then I mean, in that time, they had the skinheads,
Oh man.
and skinheads were roamed the West Ottawa, and West Ottawa would not say nothing to these skinheads.
Did-
But come a couple Mexicans that just hung out and started laughing. Oh my God, you're a gang now.
Yeah.
did you ever get called a beaner?
Oh, every day.
A beaner.
Spit was the number one in West Ottawa. Spit.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
I was like, do you see how white I am?
Well,
But my
They saw how hard I could hit.
what?
So they saw how hard I could hit.
Well, that's true. Probably. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just weird that people could be like that, was especially on different races.
But see, here's the thing: is even we're just talking about Holland and West Ottawa, and if we're dealing with this. Now we're talking about United States going through the same
same
thing.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we correct it here? Because if we can correct it here, we can correct it out there.
because we don't want to.
We don't want to, and we don't vote.
And it isn't that we don't want to. I think we want to make some changes. However, the people that we elect are not doing what we want. They're not voicing our concerns, or they're fighting their own battles.
Yeah.
And that's where things have got to change. You know, I have some friends that, you know, are good Democrats, and I have a lot of faith in them. I have friends that are Republicans that I really, you know, stand behind them and what they say. But I don't want to be divided. It's just like a parent.
Yeah.
The parents get divorced. The kids can't choose between mom and dad.
Yeah.
This is what we're asking people to do here. You're asking people to say, you either go vote for this person. Well, what if I think someone's on the Republican Party really does good?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to choose? I mean, I guess you can split your vote, and then you feel guilty.
Yeah.
But
I'm charging Trump for child support. Damn it.
You know what? I'm coming for you, Charlie. You said that. It's like,
Get my
well,
child
there is
support.
a woman in a main running, so that's mom and dad.
That's mom and dad.
Yeah. Mom and dad running for president.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, at least this woman wears her pants.
yeah, that's,
Oh, her relationship. No.
yeah, exactly. But is she married?
Yes, she is.
But wasn't she a man though?
No, where'd you get that?
It was just something I saw.
She was always a girl.
Okay.
That was,
No, it was, they said Kamala was a man.
no, it wasn't Kamala.
No.
Because she had,
Obama's wife.
oh, Michael? Michelle
Obama.
Obama.
What I read.
I don't believe everything you read.
Yeah, I know. We love,
Well,
this is a podcast. We can say what we want.
I know, but you can't believe everything
No.
you read.
I voted for Obama.
I got picked out of Catholic school.
Yes, I read.
Yes,
For what?
The story that she
the
wrote.
story.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I thought you were going to
I
say
did. I got kicked out of Catholic.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, pay close attention because we are going to do your documentary.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We are doing a documentary with Lupita here, so we will be doing a video shoot with her, and she will be telling her story.
Yes, because.
Yeah, the book.
And then we are not going to remake Alabama, so somebody tell us.
I thought I was playing Richie.
Oh.
Or Bob. I'll play Bob.
Bob. You can play Alabama's mom.
Richie's mom. That's my mom. That'll be my
I'm
mom.
your mom.
Oh, that's right.
Richie's Bob or mom. There's-
I'll be your mom too.
Yeah, okay, that's
My sons.
okay. Cool.
And Gino can be your dad.
Hi, Dad.
He wasn't in the picture in La Bamba.
Was he? Oh, yeah. Dad was never
His
around.
dad was never around. The uncle that was around.
He was always working.
He was at.
He was.
Where's dad? He's working.
He's working. He's during green season.
Yeah. He's at work.
You know what?
Sorry, but it's just like the
You know, green season. We always had our children in June, July, August, November. So green season.
reason.
After green season,
It's just like when single mothers sit there and say, "Mom, where's Dad?" Oh, he's in college. Really in prison.
Is that like that scene on La Bamba where they're picking the oranges or whatever that is?
Tangerines, peaches. Yeah,
Okay. I was wondering what that
not tangerines. There were peaches. Sorry.
so people, get out there, get your ballot. You can sign up online. I mean,
Yes.
just go to Michigan Gov. Here, I
Access.
see the small print.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
That's access@michigan.gov. access@michigan.gov.
And then go to elections. And you can get it in Spanish in there. Just hit
Wait,
Spanish.
so is that to vote or to register?
to register.
Oh,
To register.
Register online.
okay. All right, everybody go there and check it out. If you're not registered to vote, get that in there so you can.
Let's go ahead and sponsor.
How long, well, how many months does it have to be for you can actually vote for this year?
Actually, you can vote right up to election day. If, for instance, you're in line and voting ends at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, if you're in line you get to vote. And if you
Okay.
you can send your vote. Let's see, the ballots are going to be out on September 26th. You can get your ballot, online ballot.
Okay, so
You can vote then.
say I'm not registered to vote, which I am.
Okay.
Well, actually, since we're moving actually this weekend, starting tomorrow. Anyway,
Are you already having lapse of memory?
that was good.
That was so
Where's my footstep? Anyway, like, okay, say I registered to vote today.
hmm
Will that be valid to vote for this year's election? Like, is there a time frame that we?
If you register to vote today, you will be registered to vote in the elections this November. November the 5th are the elections. So you can start actually once you get your ballot. I usually get it and fill it out right away, otherwise I'll forget. That's a senior moment. And you can put it, either go to the city clerk's office and drop it off, or put it in the mail.
That's true.
You can do that too.
Because I have to go change our address. And I know they're going to ask me, because they ask me all the time, are you registered to vote?
Say, give me $1 and I'll let you know.
Yeah. Each dollar, I'll tell you what's up.
Hey, I found a way to get rid of the robocalls.
Oh, like,
I found a way of getting rid of robocalls. The phone rings and immediately I can tell it's a robocall because it takes a while for them, and I go, "Good afternoon. How can I help you?"
yeah.
Hang up on me? Honey, that's true.
Sometimes I'll say, like, a restaurant name. Thanks for calling, whatever. And they're like, oh, sorry.
No, all I have to do is say, "Good afternoon. How can I help you?" Have that kind of voice.
I'm going to try that.
All right. Well, hang on. Hang on. I just read something. I'm sorry, we skipped a little bit of something. So to vote, it says that you need an ID.
Yeah, you do.
Michigan license ID or state ID may be expired if you have one, but it can be expired. A driver's license or any
Mine's good for
or state ID issued by another state. Federal, state, or local government issued photo ID. A U.S. passport, military photo ID from educational institution, or a tribal photo ID.
Mine's good to the next election.
So there you go.
If you want my ID, you can go to NDOC, and they will give you my 15935 number, and you can go ahead and vote for me.
Well,
But you can write your own name in. Put your
you can do a write-in.
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh,
That's
so
just-
you're telling
How
me.
about we all just write our own names and not vote for anybody?
It was my opinion of who I really want, and then you can vote decide from there.
Let's say good night.
There you go.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do that then. Wait, where-
And your sponsors.
Oh yeah, let's do this one. So we got Papa John's. What's up going up? Good, Papa John's.
Oh.
Appreciate your help with your sponsorship and your delicious pizza. It helps us feed the community, which is awesome. Get a hold of them, 616-355-7272. And talk to Emily, the store manager. Who was the other lady?
Emily and Amanda.
Amanda. And Amanda. 280 North River Avenue. We appreciate your help. And we also got Southside Cuts, located at 114 West 16th Street. Phone number is 616-836-7502. Sorry, why is that frozen?
Squirrel.
And then we got Pure West Compassion Club, located in on Adams Street. Get a hold of them, 616-772-9420. Or visit their website at pureWestClub.com.
Oh.
You know that thing we were talking about earlier about
Mhm.
Are we live still? Because
we're still live.
We're still alive.
well, this
See
is
the wire.
So get up there and vote, ladies and gentlemen. Do not waste your time. If you think that you have your own special ways of wanting to help, then voting will actually vote your voice up there. So vote Do not forget to vote. If you forget to vote, come on the podcast. We can talk about
Let's
it.
see. What the. Boy, who says it was? Who says it was?
Aquí estamos.
Aquí estamos, no nos vamos.
Who's that?
We're here. We're going north.
I'm not going anyway.
That's
Bad news.
everybody. We appreciate you. We appreciate your views and your comments. Thanks for watching. Thank you for Lupita Reyes for being here.
Lupita, thank you.
We appreciate
Tino, thank you.
My driver.
Oh, you weren't even on camera. Let me do that over. Thank you for Lupita Reyes for being our guest tonight, our awesome guest. We appreciate you and everything that you do. Everybody, how do you not remember her voice? People that listen to the Spanish.
You got to do it one more time. Para la Latina.
Oh, I can't.
94.7.
Make your voice heard. Tu voz conta. Si no votas, tu voz no cuenta.
I don't know what you
Así
said.
estamos.
Aquí estamos y no nos vamos.
Vámonos, goodbye.
Vámonos. No, vámonos.
Goodbye. Be safe. God bless. All right.
Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday. Peace.